Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and I'm calling it my Flourish Thinlits box because it uses Flourish Thinlits. Didn't really know what else to call it, but I kind of like it. It's you can see, perfect lighting, the window's reflecting. It's got a little window behind this open part, and it opens up like this. So it's sealed, completely sealed at the bottom, but it opens up at the top there. So you could put pretty sweeties in there, I guess. Then you could have them peeping through, or maybe some pretty tissue paper, something like that. I'm not really sure. Great size when it's finished. 4.5 inches tall, 3.5 inches wide, and 1.5 inches deep, which is 11.5 by 9 by 4 centimetres. So a really good size. This one's in Watermelon Wonder with the same ribbon on top. Not sure if I like the colour. Or like this style on this colour, and I was talking to my team. I was doing a team training call, which I do on a weekly basis for my team. I go live to them in our Facebook group, and we were talking about projects and stuff, and I showed it to them. So I'm not really sure, and somebody said, is it maybe the colour, Sam, that you don't like? I think she's probably right, but I'm going to show you how to make it anyway, and how to get that in, that cut part into there without damaging the rest of the box mostly, but we can hide that. Okay, piece of cardstock that measures 10.5 inches by 8 inches, 27 by 20.5 centimetres. We do all of the scoring first because that's going to give us a guide where we're going to do our die cutting. So long side, 10.5, 27 centimetre side, score it at 1.5, 5, 6.5 and 10 inches. And then in metric, you would score it at 4, 13, 17 and 26. Turn it round and score it at 1.5, 6 and 7.5 inches, which is 4, 15.5 and 19.5 centimetres. So, I just bashed the arm of my chair. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish up all of these score lines, and like I say, you kind of need to do this bit first. You need to get pretty much all the way to the point where you're about to close it, and then come in and do the die cutting. Whoops. Do all of that first. I much prefer Mint Macaron to Watermelon Wonder. I don't dislike that colour. I don't think I'm overly struck on it as a whole. Not really. Just an accent piece. Okay. Oh, look, I've missed one. Missed one out. Okay, so this is the box, and it's going to fold round. This part here is going to be at the back, and so we want the panel that's going to fold over and close in to be at the front, which is this one. So we need to keep the whole of that intact, but the one that's opposite it we need to get rid. So get rid of all of that bit. So I'm going to turn it over. And yes, I've gone in at an angle with that square there, but that's okay because we don't need that bit anyway. We need to wedge into there rather. Actually, I maybe wedged that bit too much. And then cut straight down there, and then wedge in a little bit into this one as well. And then cut off that. So you can see I've taken away the whole of the other one, and we, like I say, we don't need these this little tab on these squares, but we do need it on that one. Oh, don't need that one either. So there we go. So I'll bring it back to the right way up. So that's what I'm left with. So I've taken away all that section there, these little top bits, left that one intact, and just wedged in slightly there and there. And so down at the bottom, the bit I'm going to take away is this one, like I often do with the box. Take away the skinny bit, and then cut into these ones straight up, because these will fold round and form the base. Okay, so this is the part where I would stick a box together. So you'd run your adhesive down there, fold it round, that'll go round, blah blah blah. But we're going to put this hole in the front. So I've got my Flourish Thinlits, because this is the Flourish Thinlits box, and it's a lovely set. And this is the one here. Oh look, it's still got all sorts of bits in it from when I did the white. Oh dear. Hang on, where's my dye brush gone? Where's my dye brush? It was in front of me. Oh, it's okay, it's hidden. Let me just grab that and just get rid of those bits. Okay, I'm firing all over my desk now. There we go. So this is the one I want to use, and I'm going to use it twice because I'm going to cut the hole out and then I'm going to cut some white flowers to go over the top. But you will see that this won't fit in my big shot. Let me just grab that. So I have my big shot here. I'm going to push it all the way forward. So the plate I've got, oh, just move everything around. The plate I've got is the Big Shot platform with the thin die adapter. I love this one. I don't know if you can see. It's, oh, there you go. It's very slightly raised in the centre, so you can maybe see a bit of shadow on there. Just in that part and there. Oh, look, there you go. You can see it there. Raised ever so slightly down the middle. So when you put your thin adapter on, and then your first plate, it just raises it perfectly. Now, this is where I want to put my die cut, my oh, what's the word? My brain's gone to mush. My shape. Oh my goodness me. This is where I want to die cut out, and you'll see that it won't fit through my big shot. I'm going to turn it around so it's the right angle. It won't fit through. I don't want to affect the lid at all. I don't want to fold it over because that will make a shape on there, but I don't mind it being at the bottom. So what you need to do is position this up, and it's an exact fit. Look, you can see that will go through. Pop your die cut shape on where you want it, and then fold this over. So there is going to be a little bit of an impression on there. That's okay. I'm not overly worried by that. So I'm just going to kind of squash everything down. Get that going through. I'm not worried. Oh, you can't see it yet. Hang on. So there's this bit here. I'm not worried about that because actually I'm not going to go all the way into the big shot. There you go. It's just jerked to a stop, which tells me that the die has gone all the way through. I'm just going to bring it back. And if I take this out of the way, sort out my grid paper because it all went all over the place. I'll start separating my parts. So first plate off. And like I said, we've got an impression there. I'm really not worried by that. Very little does bother me, and that certainly isn't one of those that does. And then gently just pop out these parts. There we go. And there's another green one. Actually, I might use that one instead of white. Get rid of all of that. And I can start putting this all together. But what you do need to do is you do need to get these window parts on. So I've got a bit. Clever girl here. I put a clip on it so I could see it, and it's just slightly smaller all the way around. So because I know this is 4.5 by 3.5 inches, I've cut a piece of window sheet that is, you know, is 4.25 by 3.25. So in metric, you would cut yours down to 11 by 8.5. I've just sent all my dies everywhere. So first things first, a glue dot in each of the corners, but we're not going to put it down just yet. So where can you see that? There. So I'm going to put a glue dot in each corner, put that over to one side, because I need to anchor some of these parts down as well. So you can see this one here is quite loose in the middle. That would just rip, and some of these other ones would as well. And glue dots are going to be my best friend right now, because if I put a glue dot there, when I put the window sheet in, it will stay in place. I'm going to have another one over there. And any of these bits that you think might fire up or get caught or ripped, stick a glue dot on. Where else do I need them? Up there, I think. So like I say, any of these things, any of the parts that you think, oh, that if that gets caught it will be ripped, anchor them down. And then be quite liberal, because you know what, mini glue dots are dirt cheap. Don't cost very much money, so go to town with them. Better that than your project gets trashed. And then one in there. Do you know what, I'm going to put one there as well, because that looks like it potentially could go. So there we go. So I think that's probably everything that's a bit loose. Yeah. So now I can come in with my window sheet, go over the top and press firmly, and it's going to pick up all of those. And oh, I've just done it. I've done it on the wrong side. I've done it. That was the outside. Oh well. Oh well, this is going to be the wrong way round. Oh well, not a problem. It's fine. Anyway, let's just come along and reinforce all of these. So busy concentrating on teaching and not watching what I was doing. Yeah, do you know what? If I did a blooper reel, if I didn't leave everything in, that would be a blooper reel that would last 2 hours, I think, with me. Okay, let's try that again. So, the outside is now becoming the inside. It doesn't matter. It's going to be interesting when I put the die on. Okay, so I just want to round these top corners. And I'm going to seal this up. Oh, look, it feels all upside down now. I'm not used to it being this way round. Run some adhesive down this part. And then close up there. This is the back. Well, we know that because it doesn't have the hole in. And that's the bit that's embossed. I don't mind, actually. Oh, look, you can see it less that side. It doesn't bother me at all. Because it's going to get covered up by ribbon. And then this will close down. That will go in there. I don't know if it will now, actually, because I've done it all a bit backwards. Oh, no, it does. That's fine. And that is my box. So, obviously, my flowers aren't quite right now. So what I'm going to take is this and my little spongy mat. So this is the dye brush. To be fair, actually, I kind of like using it in the air. I find it twangs off easier. But all these little pokey bits, it just pops out. And there are a few little bits left, but we'll have a little bit of a brush. And those should all pop out. They mostly do. I did this. I had, some of you will have received my thank you gift that I sent a few months back, and I die cut 160 shapes, which had the tiniest little bits to pop out. Got used to my dye brush then. We became very close friends. But I still had to come along and do a few bits like this. I suppose I'm a bit impatient, which is daft because I'm now taking time to do this, but it means I can chat to you all. How are you all? Is everybody okay? Is it cold where you are? I saw Sandy McIver is a Canadian demonstrator, and I don't know if she was posting a picture from a previous year or what, but she posted up a really snowy picture and said outside my window. Don't know if she was joking or not. Sandy, is it really cold out there? Have you got snow in that part of Canada already? We don't get any snow here. Not where I live anyway. I'm that little bit too close to the sea here, so we don't get any. Right, I've done enough now. So that, well, obviously it's now the wrong way round. Actually, maybe that's better going the wrong way round. So just over the top. So we're also going to become very close friends with the fine tip glue, because you want to put little tiny blobs anywhere you can fit a blob. And anywhere that you can fit a little blob, put one. And then lay it on where you fancy it, and then bring in something flat, which is in my case, that would be a cutting plate. Maybe the platform is a little bit heavy. Nope, that's okay. I want something heavy on it to push it flat, and I want it to stay flat because I need to shore that glue. If you push it with your fingers, what happens is you go like that and the whole thing, if you push it with your fingers, it goes in and it just messes up the box, and nobody likes that. So, I've just seen the time, 14 minutes. 14 minutes to make one box and chatter. Let's not put that on. So that is, there's a few bits not in place, but it's sealed, it's closed up there. Let's get another one under here. and actually it's really quite a nice little box. And then a bit of ribbon. So I've got the matching mint macaron, the in colour ribbon. And, ooh, oh, waiting for this glue to dry, and I'm trying to do it slowly. Do you know what? I think the girls in my team were right. I think the colour is what I've disliked. I actually like it now in the mint macaron. Or maybe it's the contrast of the white against the watermelon wonder. I'm not sure. So, got a little bit more time than me. Come along and stick all of these bits down. That one's trying to stick, doesn't want to completely stick. It will stay in place. But actually, I think it's quite a nice box. Yeah, I think it's better in that one than that one. But there's enough little bit that you can peep through. And I quite like it. Hope you do too. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. And I'll speak to you very soon.